to Geometry 7.5. Take a moment to explore and reason. The triangle shown was created by dividing one side into 4 congruent segments and drawing lines parallel to one of the other sides. How many similar triangles are in the figure? And how are the lengths of the parallel segments related to each other? Explore and reason is something for you to do on your own. Make sure you take a few minutes to think that through. Example 1. If triangle JLN, or in triangle JLN, if LN is 9.6, what are LM and MN? So this whole side over here is 9.6. We know that we have 2 triangles here. We have the big triangle, that's this whole big triangle, and then we have the little triangle in there. Okay, so let's make sure we know that that's what we're looking at. Let's take note that angle L is going to be congruent to angle L in both triangles. Make sure that looks angle L is congruent to angle L, and that is the reflexive property. We know that LKM is going to be congruent to angle LJN because we're talking about parallel lines being cut by a transversal, and those are corresponding angles. We also know that triangle LKM is similar to triangle LJN by the angle similarity. So we've got L and L and then these 2 angles right here. So we have that the 2 triangles are similar. Therefore, we can take the proportions and set them up. So we're going to take the small triangle, which is 3, over the big triangle. And for the big triangle, we have to add both of those pieces together to equal 8. That's the side length of the whole thing. Then we're going to put the small triangle, which is LM, we don't know what that is, over the whole thing, which is 9.6. So it might be helpful to look at this as just one variable. We'll put an x there. 8 times x is 8x, and 3 times 9.6 is 28.8. Since we're already dealing with decimals, we're going to continue dealing with decimals. Dividing both sides by 8, we get 3.6. So the length of LM right here is 3.6. Now to find the rest of the length, we need to say 9.6 minus 3.6. And that gives us 6. So this is 6, and that is 3.6. So to make sure our answer is clear, LM equals 3.6 and MN equals 6. That is our final answer. Go ahead and pause the video while you do the try it. Suppose that BD bisects AC and CE. So those two sides are cut in half. Is AE parallel to BD? Well, let's check to see if those pieces are similar. We have 5/10, and we have 6/12. And if I multiply 5 times 12 is 60, and 10 times 6 is 60. So those sides are proportional. The short piece over the long piece being 10, and the short piece and the long piece is 12. That's where those numbers came from. And we know that C is congruent to C by reflexive property. So we can say that triangle ACE is similar to triangle BCD by the side angle side similarity theorem. And since they are similar triangles, we know that all of the corresponding angles will be congruent. So I can say that angle CBD, will be congruent to angle CAE. Make sure that looks like a C. CAE. And therefore, BD is parallel to AE by the converse of corresponding angles. So remember that we have a rule that says if the lines are parallel, then the corresponding angles are congruent, and the converse of that says if the corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel.